The air was thick with heat and humiliation as Alina stood outside the glass doors of the luxury car showroom, trying to blink away the sting in her eyes. Behind her, laughter, subtle but sharp, echoed from inside. The kind of laughter that cuts deep. The kind that says, "You don't belong here." She'd just been turned away. Not because they were out of stock. Not because she didn't have an appointment. But because she didn't look like the kind of woman who could afford a car that cost more than most houses. Alina didn't scream or cry. She didn't yell back at the smirking sales manager who'd sized her up in one glance, from her worn flats to her faded handbag, and decided she wasn't worth his time. She just stood still, feeling the weight of years of silent battles settle on her shoulders again. But the silence didn't last long. A deep, low rumble broke the tension, smooth, confident, and unmistakably powerful. Heads turned as a brand-new Rolls-Royce Phantom glided into view, its black and silver body reflecting the late afternoon sun like liquid elegance. It purred to a stop right at the showroom's entrance, and for a moment, time seemed to freeze. The doors opened, and out stepped a sharply dressed man in his early 40s. He adjusted his sunglasses, scanned the scene, and then walked straight to Alina. "There you are," he said warmly. "You ready to go pick your car?" Inside the showroom, the same sales manager who'd just brushed her off paled. He hurried outside, now all smiles and syrupy tones. "Mom, sir, welcome. Can I offer you some assistance today?" The man, Mr. Karim, barely spared him a glance. "We'll be fine." Alina didn't say a word. Not yet. Her heart was still racing. She'd come here with a check in her purse. One that she'd earned with her own blood, sweat, and tears over the last 6 years. And the only reason she hadn't walked away after the insult was because Mr. Karim, her mentor and close friend, had called just moments before and said he was nearby. Now, she walked past the stunned salesman without even looking at him. 6 years earlier, Alina was a college dropout working double shifts at a rundown cafe in Lahore. Her mother was sick, her younger brother barely in school, and their rent was overdue every month. She'd tried everything, from tutoring to stitching clothes, just to make ends meet. No one gave her a chance. Her resume was short. Her English was decent but unpolished. And the world she saw on TV, the world of luxury, confidence, and opportunity, felt like it belonged to a different universe. But she had grit, and one day it caught someone's eye. Mr. Karim had walked into the cafe looking for coffee and wee fee. What he found instead was a young woman handling rude customers, a broken coffee machine, and a power outage, all without losing her composure. She was calm, smart, quick. He offered her a job as a virtual assistant on the spot. Alina almost didn't believe it, but she said yes. That job turned into a full-time role. Karim was an angel investor, and over time, he taught her more than she thought she could ever know. About business, branding, negotiation, leadership. He didn't hand her money, he handed her chances. She failed sometimes, sure, but she learned faster. And when she pitched her first startup idea, a small digital agency focused on helping struggling women-led businesses get online, he invested in her, just like he had in so many others. 5 years later, she was running one of the fastest-growing branding firms in the region. She'd helped more than 300 small businesses scale online, including many run by women who reminded her of her younger self. And now she was here, about to buy her dream car. Back in the showroom, Mr. Karim leaned over and whispered, "You sure you still want to buy it from this place?" Alina smiled, "Absolutely. But I'm not buying that model." She pointed to a limited edition Rolls-Royce on display behind the glass, a special order vehicle that cost nearly double what she'd originally planned. The stunned salesman scrambled to offer her brochures, coffee, anything. She calmly walked past him and addressed the manager. "I'm here to buy this car, but I'd like a different sales representative, one who doesn't assume someone's worth by the brand of their shoes." The manager stammered, apologizing, promising VIP service. She nodded. "I'm not here for apologies, I'm here for respect. If you can offer that, we can talk." They did. When the deal was done and the keys were in her hand, Alina stepped outside, taking in the moment. A small crowd had gathered. Some whispered, recognizing her face from social media. Others just stared at the car. But Alina wasn't thinking about them. She was thinking about every time she'd stood in long lines for government aid. Every time she'd stitched old clothes into new ones. Every night she fell asleep worried her mother might not make it through the week. Every rejection email. Every phone call ignored because her number didn't look professional. She remembered it all. She also remembered the day she stopped waiting for someone to choose her and started choosing herself. As the sun dipped low, Alina turned to Mr. Karim. "You know what the funny part is," she said. "What? This car. It was never really about the car." He smiled. "I know." And with that, Alina slid into the driver's seat, started the engine and drove off, not just in a luxury car, but in the power of her own story. A bystander had filmed the whole thing. Alina standing tall, the salesman shrinking, the black Rolls-Royce waiting like a crown on wheels. By midnight, the video had gone viral. People started asking, "Who is this woman? What's her story? How did she go from ignored to unstoppable?" For Alina, the fame felt strange. She never asked for attention. But the moment forced her to reflect what really mattered now. Hundreds of messages poured in, not praise, but pleas, from women who felt stuck, mothers who'd put their dreams on hold, girls told they'd never amount to anything because they didn't fit the mold. Alina didn't want to be just a headline. She wanted to be a bridge. So she shared her real story, the ugly parts, the broke days, the near breakdowns. A few weeks later, she returned to the cafe where it all started. Same cracked floor tiles, same leaky roof. But the girl behind the counter reminded her of herself. Tired eyes, polite smile, silent hope. Alina left a card and returned to the same dealership, this time for a service appointment. The salesman was still there. This time no smirk, no dismissive tone, just shame. He approached her slowly. Alina used her newfound fame to launch something bigger. A free training program for young women. Digital skills, business coaching, confidence building. She called it the Rearview Project, because your past doesn't define your direction. It just reminds you how far you've come. Applications flooded in. Media outlets started covering her work. But Alina never lost her center. The world saw a woman rejected, then celebrated. But what they missed was that the real luxury wasn't the car. It was becoming the kind of person who didn't need approval anymore. She didn't fight for attention. She earned it by doing the work no one applauded. And now, she's just getting started.